Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters. Today we are doing the story mode edition of The Good, The Bad, and The You Got Real Ugly. And if you like this Evil Dead content, please drop a like and a comment below. I answer all my comments, and of course, smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell for all further videos on Evil Dead. But if you're looking for a group to play with, follow that link in the description below. It is going to be our Discord where there's a ton of people, rabid horror fans, playing the game, talking about horror movies, talking about all sorts of ookies and spookies. And of course, just drop in and say hi, and then, don't have to play with randoms because no one likes that. So today we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the You Got Real Ugly of Missions. Now let's start with a little background on Missions. Now this game was supposed to drop in October of 21. But one of the things that held back Evil Dead from launching was the fact that these missions were not completed, and at that time was referred to the short single-player campaign, which we now know is 5 missions with more to come. So let's start breaking down the skinny of the good and the bad. We'll begin, of course, like usual, with the You Got Real Ugly. And nothing is more ugly from what I've seen than the lack of difficulty choices. Like, there is just this hard mode. That's it. And because there is just this hard mode, there should be at least be like a midpoint checkpoint, and there's none of them either. So no checkpoints, no difficulty choices. And this is what I've still been reading on today on the official Discord. I've been reading it on Reddit, that there's still a lot of people that have not even defeated the first mission and unlocked leader Ash. Now the difficulty isn't absolutely a challenge, and it can be eased up though with understanding of what mobs are coming at you, better stockpiling of the supplies, and activation of those game mechanics. And I actually did a full walkthrough of the first mission, so I could put that on easy mode for you, and I'll even include a link in the description for that one too, so that way you know where everything's at, how to get those legendaries, how to breeze through the mission with as little difficulty, I guess, as possible. But I understand if you're doing a 45-minute mission sometimes when you're doing it the first time and you die on the end boss, which happened to me quite a few times actually between the 5 missions, it can be pretty depressing. It can make you kind of not want to actually do it. And I know that that is really hard to just start over every time you die, or your fear bar hits, maximum and you get demoned out. Like, that stuff's frustrating, and I can get that. And I know we won't get another one until Castle Kandar drops, and hopefully we have a midpoint save with it to make it a little easier on struggling people. I just don't know if they're going to address this or not, and I think it's too soon to tell. Now the bad. The choices for which characters they did lock, though, I think is one of the things that have been pissing a lot of people off. Arthur in particular. Arguably the best character game is locked behind the last mission in the group. Now remember, you do need to defeat each mission in succession to unlock the next one. So you need to defeat mission 1 before you go to mission 2, and so on and so forth. And all the characters that are locked behind these missions are pretty solid, including the best support hero as Pablo in mission 4, the best leader or maybe even character in the game with Arthur behind mission 5. Amanda Fisher, other than maybe Kelly Maxwell, is the best hunter, and she's locked behind the speed mission of mission 3. So there's a lot of really good characters that are kind of hidden behind this wall if people aren't getting them, and they can kind of feel like they're being left behind as other people are leveling up these characters to max already, especially in a PvP game where these characters have pretty decent power sets, and it's not like Dead by Daylight where you can incorporate those power sets into, so if you don't have that character, you just don't have that character to use. There's no way to get those skills and bring them into someone else. Now, I will be honest, there is a lot to talk about on the good side with missions too. Now, finally, we get to the good. And I'll be fair, there is really a lot to talk about on the good side of missions, and 2 things come to my mind in particular. First, these stories are written really, really well, and they're pretty long, except for the speedrun mission that I mentioned where you unlock Amanda, and they give you a lot of insight if you'd never played the game on both mechanics as well as some background information for newer players. Now, the first mission is just like a straight up redo of Evil Dead 2. You're going through, you're putting Linda's head into the vice, and fighting Henrietta. Like, it's just a perfect like reminiscence. And they have these kind of cool scenes that aren't really cut scenes, but they're kind of like these hazy memories where they have a little bit of feedback. You hear some voice in your headphones about what Ash is thinking or what Pablo is thinking. It's pretty cool the way they did this. But the thing that's also really good is these missions are really, really hard, but the rewards are really good. So it's kind of like this double-edged sword where if you can't defeat the missions, all these amazing characters are held behind away from you. But when you do defeat the mission, you feel like the reward equals the challenge when you're unlocking these great characters, or the awesome Funeral Ash leader skin, which, let's be honest, was one of my favorite moments in season 3 of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. That suit is so wild, with a big yellow tie, with a humongous Windsor knot. Like, it's just really, really good. And I understand why, like, people are frustrated because of it, but, you know, that is also part of the game way the game is designed. And I wonder if they're not as worried about the difficulty because it is a PvP game and they expect people that play this to have a little higher level of play. And that's kind of unfortunate, though, because you can't expect that from people. So sometimes what you think the bar should be versus what it really turns out to be is a little rough. So in some cases, people are feeling roster blocked. Other people are feeling rewarded for their mission. So it depends on what side of the coin you're looking at is going to make up for how you feel about the missions right now. And it's really a hard tightrope for Saber to walk, and maybe we will see some additions to those come the launch of Mission 6, which should drop with Castle Kandar, unless they drop something before that. And I really don't honestly see the first DLC pack dropping before the Castle Kandar update. And there you have it, our look at the good, the bad, and the you got real ugly of missions. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.